Hey y'all, happy Monday everybody. Hey Yvette M, how you doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Um, I know I did. It kind of started raining yesterday evening, but nevertheless, I still had a wonderful weekend. In the midst of me, hey Smara, in the midst of me, on your way to work. Oh, thank you, Smara. In the midst of me enjoying my Saturday, doing my thing, I clicked on YouTube and I was listening to Kimmy's video. And if y'all haven't seen that video and what I had to come up here and say, because I was like, oh Lord, I cannot, right? So anyway, that's not even what I want to talk. Hey Claude, I'm glad you're here. That's not what I want to talk about today. It was a very funny video. I loved Kimmy's video on Saturday. If y'all haven't seen it, I know a lot of people have seen it, but if you haven't, go check it out. Especially like if you're on your way to work, or you got some housework or whatever you do, during the day or whatever. Just check out that video, chat. You'll get a good little kiki out of it. Okay. So anyway, I'm not gonna try to hold you guys too long, but per the title of the video, I really, I don't even know if I properly titled this video, but let me tell y'all what I'm thinking, right? Now, we know last week we had a whole, so I am, wasn't that video hilarious, girl? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So, in the midst of, us going back and forth last week, on the subject of very derogatory racial epithets that have been spewed out of a particular person, over here. In the midst of all that, and uh Cloud, can you hear me well enough? And y'all gotta forgive me, but I'm multitasking today, okay? But anyway, but I had to come on and talk about this. So, but let me know if y'all can hear me, right? So, in the midst of all that, James Caldwell did a panel, right? He did a panel, and me and James Caldwell had been into it, like I guess for a while or whatever. We got on the app for whatever reason, and but while I'm on the chat, while I am on the panel, Brian, he's James Caldwell let me know that Brian is down in the chat. Thank you, Carl. James Caldwell. I mean, I'm so while I'm on James Caldwell's panel, and we have been into it. And you know that when I'm going back and forth with you, in a beef or whatever, I'm going back and forth with you, and what you give to me, I'm gonna give to you, and I'm gonna try to give you more, because I don't feel that or any other man on the internet is a bully. I have never. People like to call him a bully when he come back in here. I don't think he a bully because I can stand toe to toe with him. Hey Clark Kent, how you doing? So I've never considered him to be a bully, because if you give it to me, I'm gonna give it to you right back, right? Because I can use my words just the same way you can use your words, right? So, but while I'm on the panel, and I want to mention it because a lot of people I feel like are beating this man over the head by saying that he is a bully, right? And they're saying it is a means to they're weaponizing that term when, like, if you don't start nothing, if it won't be nothing. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna sling a shot at you and you sling a shot back at me, you a male and I'm a female. This female, meaning me, is I'm not gonna turn around and call you a bully because you threw a shot back at me, right? I'm just gonna throw another shot back at you, and it just is what it is. And it's been that way for me when it comes to men on the internet. Um on YouTube since I've been over here, since before I came to a beef sector, because I was most of the battles that I had in the original black sector were against the men. As a matter of fact, now when I've come over here and in the entertainment center, it's been mostly against women. But when I was over there, I pretty much was battling all the time with the men. You know what I mean? The quote unquote heterosexual men, by the way, right? Which is just very interesting to me because I think that they are mistaking me. So that's why I want to do this. That's why I want to do this video, right? So let me get back to the panel. So I'm up on the panel, and James says that Brian is down in the chat, and he keeps saying I'm a hypocrite, because how can I be on James' panel? I'm assuming is what he meant when I am, homophobic, right? So and James Caldwell told him to hit the link, right? Now I don't know how we went from talking about this issue with this chick to talking about homophobia just because I'm on James Caldwell panel. You so say people can't focus. It's just the mixing in of several conversations in one for me. Like if I'm talking about one subject, I'm talking about that subject. I don't want to veer off to another subject, right? And so, because I'm zeroed in on that subject, right? So James said, "Well, why don't you come up here and ask her?" Right? So he never hit the link, and then he eventually said something about he just picking and he come in peace or something like that, right? But I really, I thought about that, Brian saying that, and like I said, I've been into it with James Caldwell, uh, and I listened to Sean Bradley's video, and in Sean Bradley's video, he was talking about the panel that I was up on with James. And I guess he didn't understand it because he feels like I'm homophobic, right? I have heard Jay Wilson say I'm homophobic. I've heard James Caldwell say I'm homophobic. Now Brian said I was homophobic. I've been hearing that term when it comes to the men and the gay men, most of them, I guess, in this sector. I'm not gonna say all. I've never heard it come out of food junkies' mouth pertaining to me, but I don't know either. And I don't know if Justice Kelly Love has said it or not. I don't know, but I think that they are mistaking me. And that is the reason why I want to talk about this subject today. And also because from what I understand is Gay Pride Month, right? Am I right about that? So um, I'm like, and because they keep saying it, I'm like, once again, trying to figure out why do they think that I am homophobic? Like, you are assuming you know my stance when it comes to your lifestyle, but you really don't. So are you assuming? Because if you are, you're assuming wrong, right? So, from what I understand, people that are homophobic are afraid of gay people, or or in feel some kind of hatred towards gay people. And in reference to me, I'm assuming they're assuming gay men. Let me tell you something. When I think about things like that, I am not concerned about I'm not concerned about you individually, right? My thoughts on the subject when it comes to black men and being gay are not uh, homophobic. They are not individual. I'm really not, and I may not be as well versed when it comes to the community because that's not my community. But these men that are calling me homophobic, they are all black men, right? And so when I'm speaking on, or when I have speaking seriously on that subject, and I very rarely do, because I think they're real touchy about that. And so I try to veer away from it because if I'm speaking about black men, I'm speaking about you collectively. I'm not speaking about your sexuality. And when it comes to black men and me, as it pertains to the community, to the black community, the dwindling black community, might I add, my stance on um, black men, and maybe is a little different, right? So they're trying to say it's homophobic, but I think they're trying to say, I don't know if they're trying to say it's I'm homophobic because they really think that, or it's because I'm talking about it on a different type of level and they don't want to accept that level. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but I'm trying to put it as delicately as I can, right? Because what I don't want is for these men to think that I hate them because of their sexuality individually. Because I don't care who you lay with. I don't sit around at night in the middle of my bed and worry about who you land, who is on the side of you at night. You are thinking too much of yourself, and you're thinking too much of the situation. I think because of your own insecurities, especially as it pertains to me. Because when it comes to me, and men, especially black men, I have a very very, very, very staunch, definitive definition of what I feel the black man should be doing in his community, right? Because he is born with a target on his back, right? So I am not concerned about you being gay first. I am concerned about you being black first. But I noticed that when it comes to some black men in particular, they are more concerned about being gay first, right? So um that so you calling me homophobic because I don't understand why you would rather lead with your sexuality, if that's making sense, right? And that is I have a right to, question that because it's my own mind. I don't have to conform to what society is saying about the subject. I just really don't. My stance is my stance. And it's not going to change. It don't matter how many times they go around and call me homophobic. My stance is my stance. So I just said, I know I'm tired of seeing Transformer commercials. Says what happened to them having their own networks like Logo, Sexual Honesty. I couldn't even answer that because I don't even, you know what I mean. I don't pay attention to them. I guess I don't know. Anyway, um, and like I said, I'm trying to I don't want to. See, here's the thing. The reason why I liked what James Caldwell said, for whatever reason why he said, because people have speculated that, he came out and spoke up against what that chick was saying, because he just wanted to, get his lick back with her because she's supposed to had, this was Sean Bradley said, she's supposed to had, I guess they had a back and forth at one time on Pizarro's channel. I don't know if they did or not. But I'm assuming like she read him or something like that, and so um you know, he wanted to get his lick back, right? So for whatever reason he did the panel, I still appreciated the words that came out of his mouth, like I told him, especially because he is a black man. I don't care that he is a gay black man when it comes to this subject. I am not. I'm separating the two because if you are a male, we live in a male dominated society, right? And when it comes to patriarchy, the man words and a lot of times hold more weight than the woman's words, especially in in the black community, right? And so you see a lot of self-hate going on. And so when you can get a black man to stand the way that he stood on the subject of racism, that goes a long way, right? Maybe not in this sector particularly, but in general, right? And I'm talking real world, right? Because you do have a lot of emasculated black men, right? They have a lot of them have been emasculated via the system of white supremacy racism, right? Like let's take for Hollywood for instance. Let me veer off to the side for a minute. Hey View, how you doing, love? My problem is they can call women every name in the book, especially that B word. But the minute you respond with the F, now you are homophobic. Well, I think that's what's going on with me, Smaller. But like I said, whatever they give me, I'm gonna give it back to them tenfold. So I really don't care. And I think they take it personally and start throwing out the homophobic word, which I don't care about that either. They changing my stance. My stance is my stance. Oh, thank you, Drew. Y'all please hit the like button, right? So let me veer off to the side for a minute. There is something going on with Jamie Foxx right now, right? And I really haven't even touched on the subject, but I have been listening to Jamie Foxx, for instance. Like, you know, first they were saying um that somebody may have done something to him, allegedly. They think that those that twerk around in the synagogue of Satan done something to him, like giving him something to make him ill or something like that, right? And we've heard those stories over and over again when it comes to Hollywood over there, right? Especially as it pertains to black people. And we saw, but now people have been speculating. They said his daughter was coming up saying he was fine doing pickleball. Didn't come to find out. Um, he was in a rehab center, right? And me, for real. I've heard so. Is the man still alive? Like, Like, what's really going on? Why is it so shrouded by the fact that nobody can give you a like correct or proper diagnosis, and then it's this man's personal life, but he is still a star, and then all the mystery surrounding it make you think, right? So I heard on one video they were saying that Jamie Foxx, he done got mixed up with, he done got trapped because he wanted to, he got tired of being controlled by those powerful people over there in Hollywood, right? And he is a black man now, and when he wanted to step away from that control, they started, they done start trying to shut him up or whatever, right? Now we done seen that before when it comes to Hollywood and some of these black men. Do y'all remember in the 90s? Some of y'all might remember if you old enough. Um, did he post a short vid? Now see, I was gonna get to that too. Cause see, I even got a question about that, right? So let me tell y'all why I say that. So do y'all remember in the 90s when Martin Lawrence, they said he was running down the street, um, dang near butt naked, running out of his house with a gun in his hand, and he was like, they trying to kill me, they trying to kill me, they trying to kill me, fight the power, they trying to kill me, right? So after you start running down the street saying they trying to kill me and fight the power and all of this and all that, they started saying that it was drug related, and and then he done lost his mind a little bit, and yeah, that Illuminati mess, you're right about that view, and all of this and all that, right? And then one of his doctors came out shortly after they were saying it was, some kind of drug induced psychosis. The doctor came out, spoke up, and said that there were no drugs involved, right? You remember that, Cloud? There was no drugs involved, right? And then but prior to that happening to Martin Lawrence, he was on the Arsenio Hall show, and he was saying, things ain't right, that things ain't supposed to be like this. And he was talking about the weird stuff, that go on in Hollywood, all those alleged satanic rituals, and because they really are over there, serving up under a den of demons, right? Like I mean they child, you gotta think about who the Hollywood elites are and who is running Hollywood. And when I say they twerking around in the synagogue of Satan, I'm saying it for a reason. It's because of the people that have power and control over Hollywood, right? It's because of those people. Those are the people dancing around in the synagogue of Satan. Okay, those whole converts over there. Those converts is the one that run Hollywood. Those thieves of I'm not gonna go there. Name about that, Dave. In my opinion, is a further warning that you cannot say. That's right, Cloud. You can't serve two masters, right? So anyway, since they couldn't control Jamie, they couldn't control Martin. We don't seen that happen with. Now we talking about black men in Hollywood, right? But I'm gonna get back around to what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about from a stance of emasculation, right? You heard Dave Chappelle talk about how they love to put black men in dresses. They use it as a form of humiliation ritual, right? And Dave Chappelle, he walked away from was it a $50 million contract at the time or something like that, and went to Africa, and they said he was crazy. They said he was on drugs. He was like, no, I just don't want to. I'm not going to be emasculated by these Hollywood people. They want to put all these black men in a dress, right? Well, now we know Jamie Foxx. He was in a dress a long time ago, like years ago. I guess was it the 90s or early 2000s when he used to do that Wanda skit? What now? Wanda, or I could be saying the name wrong. I think her name was Wanda or Shaquilla or somebody when he used to do that skit, right? It's a Hollywood used to Druid Wizard staffs and wands. Honey, they beyond Druid Wizard staffs and wands, honey. They fool around with Kabbalism over there in Hollywood. Child, they dancing around the synagogue of Satan for real. They beyond wizards and wands. No, that's not what's going on. No, 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 no. No. Mm-mm. They're into some real occult stuff over there. That's why I say that yeah, in living color. So it was Wanda, right? And so we know that Jamie Foxx used to do that long time ago, right? So he been in a dress. So, but now all these years later, he's starting to realize that, hey, I may have, acquiesced to what these people wanted in order for me to be a star. And now I'm wanting to stand up for myself and get out from under this stuff. And so now, since he wants to get out from up under it, so Martin Lawrence was Shanae. Yes, Martin Lawrence, he was in the dress too, you know. And but when they want to not do that anymore, they have a problem with it. And that's when people start, falling ill, and let them tell it they going crazy and they losing their mind and they on drugs and all of this and all of that, all to cover up for what it is that they're trying to do. And you have to also ask yourself, when it comes to black men in Hollywood in particular, why is it, why are, to me, it's like they're trying to, like they're energy vampires, like they're trying to, like that whole Get Out movie. It's like they are, when it comes to these black men in Hollywood, when they don't want to, you know, fall up under that line of emasculation anymore, and they want to step up and they want to be, you know, who they are called to be, immediately they go in on them, right? It's like they're trying to steal their soul away or something like that. They don't want him, they don't want them to be anything, to be viewed in any other way as effeminate, right? And so, and you got to ask yourself why. So it's happening to Jamie Foxx now. Oh, and then the other day, the reason why I mentioned Jamie Foxx too, because they don't went from not knowing what's really wrong with Jamie Foxx to speculating the Illuminati people had something to do with him because he wanted to get out from up under him, to now they're speculating that that movie that he's working on, that when he fell ill, they replaced him with the stunt double, right? And they end up firing the stunt double now. But they said now they're speculating that they made him get that booster shot, that C-19 booster shot. And because he got that booster shot, allegedly, it caused a blood clot. And we know that we have, heard, a lot about some people, getting blood clots as a result of the, that vaccine or whatever, right? So they're saying he got a blood clot and it went to his brain, and that blood clot caused him to have a stroke. And now they're saying like he's blind or partially blind and paralyzed or partially paralyzed. It's a lot of stuff, coming out. So they don't went from he just had a regular stroke to he had a stroke as a result of a blood clot because he took a booster shot, right? And I'm thinking, well, here go more excuses. And then, like, who was it said a little bit, a couple of comments up, that he did a short video, right? And I'm thinking, now I know some conspiracy theories be real far out there and stuff like that, but when you dancing over there in the synagogue of Satan, and they be like they clones and all of this and all that. Here's my theory, because I realize that we are in a fight of spiritual warfare, right? We fight demons and principalities, not flesh and blood. I don't know what it is exactly they doing to some of these people. Like they go in, they try to take a stand, and they either come out dead or come out different, right? Like Martin Lawrence, he used to be real vivacious, real funny, real, just real, just I mean, like this vibrant guy. And after he had that second supposed stroke or a second attempt on his life, allegedly, he's like this real subdued not guy now. He real quiet, and all of this and all that. So you really like, what kind of energy are they sucking out of these black men in Hollywood? Like what ritual is taking place to where these black men are going in one way and they coming out, what are they seeing? Like what's happening to them? Like you really got to question what's going on, right? And even like take somebody like Cat Williams. And we know Cat Williams, he will speak out. Cat Williams been speaking out forever when it comes to those that twerk around in the synagogue of Satan and all them rituals and all this and all that. Y'all know they kept trying to put Cat Williams in jail. They took his foster. They had the man. They were saying he was crazy. Took his foster kids away from him, or his kids, or whoever they was. Just took him down. Kept putting him, locking him up. Trying to shut him up because he started speaking out about this, alleged Illuminati, or the weird stuff that they do in the black men in Hollywood. And he even spoke on the fact that they love to put black men in dresses and, all of this and all that. So, Ket went through it for a long time. Like, in my opinion, they try to blackball, Ket Williams, because he wouldn't acquiesce to what it is that they wanted him to do, right? And he started speaking out on it. And they tried to drive him crazy and all of this and all of that. But he coming up out of it now, and he said, you know, I know he did an interview and he was like, well, I'm still not gonna do what they do. I'm not gonna fall for their traps. I'm not gonna do what they want me to do. But I do have more respect for them now, right? They made a believer out of him. Like he's like, if I don't leave these people alone, I'm gonna end up dead like Prince or Michael Jackson or something. You know what I mean? So I'm still gonna speak out the way that I speak out, but I got more respect for. Like I realize it's real now, right? We see what happened. Yeah, Michael Jackson and Prince. Yeah, after speaking out against Hollywood, what Michael say? They don't really care about us. And we know as soon as Prince got his publishing rights or whatever you call that thing, um he ended up dead in the elevator. And that then they try to say it was an overdose. I do not believe that Prince died in his own elevator in his own house of a drug overdose. I don't believe that. That's too convenient. I don't believe that doctor gave Michael Jackson that whatever it was, that propofol or whatever, he been taking it forever to fall asleep, and then one day it was just too much of him wake up. I don't believe that. Because we all know first they tried to destroy Michael Jackson, about that P trying to put all that stuff on him. You know what I mean? And he fought through that, and it got so deep with Michael Jackson. I know some of y'all can remember. Claude, do you remember he had to call in the Nation of Islam to protect him? I was like, child, a person cannot fault anybody for the way black males are. They are not helpless victims, but willing participants. And well, I'm not trying to fault anybody either, because at the end of the day, if you are an adult, God gives us free will, and you have to willingly choose, in my opinion, to do the thing. No, it's nobody's holding a gun to your head. It's about accountability. So I agree with you absolutely. Remember, good years ago they proudly announced they found the get that CERN thing, chat, the God particle. That's what they want to call it, God gene. And so I assume they found a way to destroy it or take it out. Let me tell you something. What they cannot do is separate your soul, your spirit. They can't take away your spirit. They can't. There's not a machine or an AI bot, in my opinion, now they said they found a God particle. That's what the CERN, that whole CERN thing is about, finding the God particle, trying to harness the God particle, trying to open a rift through dimensions. That's all demonic. But they say they found a God particle. Yeah, yeah, you're right about that, Leonard. They say that they can't take that they ain't even necessarily trying to take that God particle out of you. They're trying to open doors to other dimensions, because I do feel like it is not only this dimension, and we know for a fact, if you are a believer, or if especially when it comes to melanated people, we know that it's something greater than us. We are very, very spiritual people, and we can feel things, right? And some of the stuff you feeling, they'll call you crazy for feeling that way, when you are feeling that we are connected to not only the universe but the earth as well. So we feel things. Yeah, we all know them stories the old people used to tell, and all of this and all that about angels and demons and other dimensions, and I believe in all of that. Sure do. I ain't got a problem with it. I ain't got a problem with it. What they say, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to make the world think that he didn't exist. We always saying, they, but they are the weakest patriarchy and will sell out, their own race for money and access to white space. And yes, you're absolutely right. And it's unfortunate. And it's not all, but it's a lot. We see that on YouTube, and it the original black sector over there. The head of the black manosphere is a Anglo chick called Pearly things or something like that. Pearly Gates, Pearly things. These men are they've been beat down by life. The self hatred is overwhelming. Um, and then they want to blame black women for their lack of masculinity. It's just like a lot going on. Hey, George, how you doing? Hey, everybody, please hit the like button. Hey, everybody that came in, right? Yeah, I just touched on Dave Chappelle. Y'all got me all off. I'm gonna circle back around to this subject, but I really want to. This is really about black men in general, gay, straight, or otherwise, right? Just at the end of the day, right? And so, what was I talking about? Yeah, we know what happened to Michael Jackson, Prince. Who else? That DJ Twitch guy. They're people have came out and said that he underwent a humiliation ritual that went wrong, and now his wife done lost his all his estate and all the money and everything. And then they said that he had some kind of crypto, is that what cryptocurrency investment that failed, and that's why he popped himself and all that. I'm thinking, what? Tell there be so much going on, you just don't know. But everybody ain't telling the same lie when it comes to these Hollywood people, because they really is doing the work of the devil. They dancing around in the synagogue of Satan. How you doing, Mr. Carruthers? Like, I really do believe that. That's why all of these, even Tyrese, I remember Tyrese, he started acting crazy at one point in time. I just seen an interview from Tyrese not too long ago where he went to talking about, how he got, in acting, because he was doing his singing at first, and he was like John Singleton. The first movie that he did was Baby Boy, right? And he didn't understand how he went from Baby Boy to he felt like he was blessed because he went from Baby Boy to the Fast and Furious franchise, right? And then he's talking about that, and then he goes into spirituality, right? And he's even wanting to can't that there's something going on with Hollywood pertaining when it come to black folks, right? Especially black men. It's crazy. They go in one way, they'll either come out dead or insane. So you really gotta understand what they sacrificing around there. Why are they trying to harness their energy? Somebody just mentioned, I think it was Leonard mentioned about the God particle and CERN, right? So what is it about these melanated men that they are trying to harness? What is it that they're really? What ritual are they trying to impose on him? What energy are they wanting from them? Like, you really got to think about that, because I don't put nothing past nobody. You know, very weird. Also smart. Yeah, yeah. They say she lost everything, or a whole bunch of stuff they going on saying. So yeah, that's just a couple of examples. Look, even when it come to R. Kelly, y'all, right? Hey, Snazzy Girl, y'all please hit the like button, right? Even when it come to R. Kelly, right? Here's the thing that people didn't realize about R. Kelly, right? Now, R. Kelly, he did what he did to them little young underage girls, but he had been doing it for like over 2 decades, right? But notice, all of a sudden, R. Kelly didn't really start getting popped, not because of what the what's it they Ezra Clary and that other girl, what is her name? Her daddy, and then they did the R. Kelly thing. He didn't really get popped because of that, surviving R. Kelly and the Clarys and the I can't think of the other girl name, because of them start speaking out. Um, that he really didn't get popped because of that. In my opinion, y'all, the reason why they came down R. Kelly is because he was working with Epstein. This is my theory. He was working with Epstein. Y'all know who? Y'all remember Epstein, right? When they, when it finally got out, they finally start coming against him, Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein and all this and all that, right? And I think that R. Kelly was involved with Epstein, right? Oh yeah, Clara, I dropped the link. Give me a minute. I think that he got involved with Epstein, and really, I think the reason why R. Kelly is still alive right now is because he won't speak on how he was associated with Epstein when it comes to that whole trafficking ring that they had going on forever. Epstein, I think R. Kelly was low level involved with him in some kind of way, and I think that's why he locked up right now. And I think they was trying to run a play. I think they was trying to push the narrative more towards R. Kelly, but the world wasn't going because Epstein, he had too many of those high powered people involved, too many names start coming out, right? So so supposedly we know what supposedly had happened to him, but he got killed by a cellmate when he's supposed to have no cellmate. Then they said he killed himself. I don't think the man is dead at all. He got too much power to be dead. I think he on that private island over there. But R. Kelly's still in jail because he ain't talked and he ain't got unalived yet, in my opinion, because he won't speak on the Epstein dude. That is my theory about R. Kelly. Yes, he did what he did, and he was wrong for what he done, and he is absolutely disgusting for doing it to those children. And he should have been caught, but they let him. But he wasn't doing it to nothing but melanated little girls, right? And for that reason, he got off of it for over 2 decades. He got away with this stuff. Then all of a sudden, this Epstein stuff come up, and all of a sudden, this is big rob up about R. Kelly. Now, think about what's really going on. But if that Epstein never got caught up, R. Kelly wouldn't have been in jail today, in my opinion. He wouldn't have been in prison right today if it wasn't cause of that. I don't tell him what kind of info R. Kelly had to give them people. And then Epstein, he got caught up because he was blackmailing those high powered men over there. And did y'all know that? I seen a video to where Chris Rock was even on Epstein's contact list. Chris Rock, and I'm thinking, hold on, wait a minute, Chris Rock was on his contact list. Now, okay, so they're talking about black men in Hollywood. Now, how in the world Will Smith ain't never been in trouble, right? Will Smith ain't never been in no real trouble in Hollywood. He ain't that type of guy. But he gonna go up on stage in front of the world and slap Chris Rock in the face the very same year the first black person that directed the Oscars, this black man, he's directing the show, and all of a sudden Will Smith gonna choose now after all these years to be upset with Chris Rock. Chris Rock been talking about his wife, been talking about Jada. Was Tom Hanks on the list too? Child. But all of a sudden this year, yeah, Chris Tucker too. All of a sudden this year, Will Smith now, Will Smith, that was some kind of humiliation, emasculation ritual, in my opinion, too. The very year the black man directing the Oscars, the very year Will Smith gonna come up on the stage and slap Chris Rock, another black man. I'm thinking, hold up, wait a minute. This ain't making no sense to me. And I'm thinking, okay. Like they really want to I don't it because I would just really like to know at the end of the day what they are doing with those energies over there when it comes to those melanated men. And we ain't gonna let's not forget Bill Cosby. Okay, he was doing what he was doing forever, but they say because he tried to buy a major network after all this stuff he'd been doing for decades, now all of a sudden he end up in prison. Now all of a sudden it's a problem after all these decades. Okay. So you just really got to think about stuff more than surface level. I think that's why I got veered off to that is because it's too much surface. Let me drop the link, Cloud, before I forget. It's too much of a surface level way of thinking when it goes on. Now, I'm gonna circle this back around to what I was talking about as first, which is the gay men in the B sector assuming that I am homophobic, right? Which it don't matter because it ain't gonna change my stance. But you assuming my stance, like you telling the world. I don't even think that they think that for real. I think that they don't like my stance. They don't agree because we know when it comes to this gay pride thing. Now, at the end of the day, when this here go another stance, I'm gonna be called homophobic again, right? But when you are celebrating that type of sexuality, in my opinion, I think that is demonic because it's contrary to the word. It's demonic because it's contrary to the word, right? And we have seen people even trying to denounce religion, not religion, Christianity, because of the Bible's stance on that type of sexuality, right? See, the sin, and this is why it for me it's on a different level. It's not on no some little shallow um I got a problem with you because you laying with another. I don't care about that. I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of it, right? There is a passage in the Bible when they talk about they gave a boy for a harlot. I might do a video about that. The conversation about them giving the boy for a harlot, right? So, but I'm not gonna veer off on that right now because no. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, to see the sin is not being gay. Gay is not the sin, right? The sexual act, that's the sin. So maybe because they are so dead set on defining themselves via their sexuality. And I'm talking about the B sector guys that call me homophobic, right? Maybe they are offended by when I say something like that. So for that reason, you assuming that I'm homophobic, you assuming that I don't like you because I don't know you now. You taking it personal, and I'm not talking about you individually. I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of it, right? So when I say the sin is not being gay, the sin is acting on it. The sin is the act. Is that homophobic? Because that's what it's saying in the word. The sin is not being gay. The sin is the act. You can be gay all your life and never act on the sexual side and not be committing that particular sin. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I'm speaking on that level, and especially when it comes to emasculation of black men, because I do think there is an agenda, in my opinion, when it comes to black men. Like a lot of us see this, right? That's why I mentioned the Hollywood stuff. I want to tie it in with this conversation, okay? Because black men are the only men that don't protect their community. Now we know a lot of that is cause of what Dr. Georgia Gruey says is post-traumatic slave syndrome, right? The horrific things that were done to all of us, all of our ancestors, if you are ADOS in the United States of America, that trauma is encoded in your brain, right? So I think that some of it, I also think that there's an agenda. See, just cause the world tell you it's okay, or the world wants you to embrace this sort of thing, that don't mean it's okay. Because the Bible say, be in the world, not of the world. Okay? So I guess because of my stance, I'm supposed to be homophobic. I'm trying to make it make sense. Because you like taking it personal, like I'm thinking about you individually when I don't know you. I'm not laying awake at night being worried about who you laying with. That is not the point. My point is greater than that. It's not individual. It's collective. Because if you are a black man in America, gay or straight, and you are not standing up for your community, gay or straight, because this is a patriarchal led society, that is the issue that I have. So you want to cover that part of you not, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So, but you want to circle that back because you don't like what I'm saying and say I'm homophobic when that is not even the issue. The issue is you're not doing what you are called to do. That is the issue. So you can be gay because we've seen it. Plenty of examples. Gay black men defended his community. Somebody put down in the chat the gay ancestor, the gay elder. I'm not gonna say ancestor, the gay elder that I always speak of because he was clearly black first. I'm always talking about him. Who is that, Claude? Who am I always talking about? You see what I'm saying? I admire that man because of the stance that he took during the civil rights movement. Yes, he was a gay black man, but he was black first. He stood up for his community all around the world. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about James Baldwin. And it wasn't just James Baldwin. Yep, thank you, but yeah, I think it is definitely an agenda. Whenever they have a gay man in a movie, he is almost always a black man. Absolutely. And a lot of them fall for the okie doke too. They have allowed they I don't know, for whatever reason, some gay men feel like they have to compete with black women. It is not a competition. I don't understand that mentality. There's another thing I don't understand. If you disagree with anything, you are automatically homophobic, according to so I know, but because they've been saying that about me, Langston Hughes, thank you, Clark, forever. And what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. It don't roll off my tongue. He worked with Dr. King. And shoot, and talking about Prince and Michael Jackson, look at what they did to King. Look at how they try to sabotage his character and his personality and his reputation before they killed him, because all of that stuff didn't work. That they would say he having affairs and he's sleeping with Anglo women and all of this and all that. None of that worked. And they had to hate Beach, and they went on and assassinated him after that. But before they assassinated him, because they didn't want to make him a martyr, they tried to defame his character, and it didn't work. And so it's just really make you have to think about like what's really, you just got to stop thinking about things on a surface level. And like my stance is never gonna change. I guess all I'm trying to say is, but I don't want nobody taking it. I don't hate you because you who you lay with. I don't care. I hate that you falling for the agenda. You more worried. Why are you worried about what I think? Why are you worried about trying to label me in particular, as being homophobic? And you can. It ain't gonna change my stance. You can label me anything you want to label me. It ain't gonna change my stance. I say what I say, and I mean what the hell I say. It's just like somebody said earlier, if they call you a B and you come back and call them an F, and then all of a sudden you homophobic, I'm going to give it to you as hard as you give it to me. And if your feelings is hurt, and if it rubbed more than one person's feeling, it's unfortunate. But if I'm going back and forth with you, I'm going back and forth with you. Take it any way you want to. I don't care. And they try and then they know what my stance is, and for whatever reason they feel sensitive about it. But if you are not doing what you are called to do, that is why you are sensitive about whatever it is that my stance. You're sensitive about my stance because somewhere deep inside you, whether you want to acknowledge or not, you know that you are not doing what you are so called to do. Especially if you're a melanated man. You don't have to classify yourself as heterosexual or homosexual or any other sexual. What does that have to do with you not doing what you are called to do when it comes to your community? That is simply another excuse to me. My issue is not that shallow. My issue is greater than that. So I don't understand that. And even when it comes to that community over there, they use those gay men and they use those black people. They put them on the front lines, and after they get what they want, they kick them to the wayside. Because we ain't gonna talk about the level of racism in the LGBTQ community. They don't want to talk about that though. But they gonna call me hypocritical because I was on James' panel talking about racism, not homosexuality. Because I was talking about racism, so they want to stick that under the radar. I'm thinking, like I'm really concerned about who you land with. Like, why would I be concerned? Why would I even care? It's not even logical to me. But they've said it over and over again. Like I said, it don't matter. But like, are you like what is the real reason behind that? You see what I'm saying? You just can't say to some when it comes to somebody like me. I'm always gonna want to know why, right? Because I am never going to be alive long enough to know everything that I need to know when it comes to this world. So for that reason, I am never a teacher, and I will always be a student because I can't. My lifespan is not long enough for me to know everything that I need to know. So I'm forever a teacher, and I always want to know why. Since I've been a kid, I've been wanting to know why. Why? They tried to say that I had a problem with that chick over there last week. We know that in particular, I didn't appreciate what she said, but moreover, my issue was not even with her. My issue is with why y'all would allow her to say that stuff. And then so even Sean Bradley said I was trying to control the chick's power. But no, honey, because I want to know why. The question is because I can't control nobody's power but mine. But my question still was how can you as a black person allow the stuff to come out of her mouth and you not feel aware about it? You said you don't care, and I want to know why don't you care? That was my question. Why? How you doing, virtuous woman, humble J? Hey, Regina Myers and everybody. My question is why, when it comes to this subject right here, why do you feel that way? Is it because you don't like what I'm saying? Or is it because you know I'm telling the truth? Okay? You are not standing up and taking your rightful place, and you are not doing what God has caused you to do. That's why I jumped on James' panel, because at one time he did stand up. For whatever reason, he still stood up. He still said it out of his mouth. Okay? I'm not moved by these little shallow, like demon inspired attacks when it comes against me. My stance is our stance. I'm not never gonna change. I'm not never gonna accept it. It's not, I don't care. My stance is my stance. But as far as you taking it personally, you know, because oh boy over there, what's his name? Jay Wilson, he got a real problem with me. Swear to God, I'm homophobic, because I guess he don't like, because of the way that I broke it down to him one time when me and him was going into it. Because I didn't understand why he kept trying to compare what the Greeks did and insert that into Bible. I'm thinking, huh? Make it make sense. Because you're trying to justify your way of life by some stuff them Greeks did over there. I'm thinking, huh? That don't even make no sense. So maybe that's why he is dead set on calling me homophobic or whatever. I'm thinking, okay. It ain't gonna change my stance. A word is not gonna change my stance. It still is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna. You put a label on all you want, that ain't gonna change my stance. Is my stance. That's just how I feel about it. I don't care how many times they call me that. If I don't feel like you are doing, it is my opinion that you are not doing what God has called you to do. That is my stance. It's not gonna change. You know. And so I just really wanted to know why. And I don't see any of them in the chat now. I wish somebody could drop down and tell me why they feel that I am homophobic. I would really like to have that conversation, because I don't understand. I got questions. Y'all know I got questions. I always got questions. Like I had questions last week. I got questions as to why they feel that way. So is it because of my stance, or is it because of something else? Is it because I'm going back and forth and you getting your feelings about something that I said? Well, you said something about me. I laugh when they bring up the Greek. I know, right? This good life. I'm like, child, really? You using that as an argument? The Greek culture, you really using that as an argument? Your melanated self is using that as an argument. Okay. Make it make sense. But okay. All right. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it really is all spiritual. It's demonic. Absolutely, I'm entitled to and make it so bad tomorrow. I know I'm entitled to my own opinion. They just don't like my commentary. They just don't appreciate my stance. It ain't changing nothing. It is what it is. Period. Like you said, but they just, I guess they feel sensitive about it. I don't know. But I'm not hating nobody because of who they lay with. I'm not worried about you. Like it, you are not important to my world. I don't know you. And so I guess they're really emotional about that or something. Like they touching their spirit or something. If you touch the spirit about anything that I say concerning that issue, then you're internalizing it and you took it like you feel it. What I mean, like it's done. Look, I believe in speaking truth to power. Okay, and when it comes to demons, I'm not never gonna cow down to a demon. No demonic energy. No. Uh, nope. That's not gonna be me. I'm not never gonna change my mind. My stance ain't never gonna change. It is what it is. But it ain't personal. It's collective. It's collective. A lot of these men allow themselves to be emasculated because they feel like they done been beat down for life. They always want to blame the. It ain't my fault. The man done beat me down. No, it's you. It's you at the end of the day. Yes, it is true that they keep a foot on our neck, but still it's you. You can overcome. And I feel like when somebody says something that they don't like, the reason why they term it homophobic, call it homophobic, even though when you're not thinking about them like that, they try to do that as a means of cover or whatever. As a means of them not wanting to admit the truth to themselves. You know, like take for instance something in general, like how many gay men over here have children? How many of them have children? Uh, Jay Wilson don't have no kids. Sean Burley don't have no kids. I'm talking about birth children. Uh, James Caldwell, for all I know, Duchess Kelly Love, Brian. None of them have children. None of them have, you know, put any use to their seed. You're not doing what you're called to do. That is my stance. But it's a difference in not being able to have. I can't have a child. I can't create a life inside. I can create it, but I can't hold it in for whatever reason. They never could figure that out. I can get pregnant. I couldn't stay pregnant. It's too old to have that conversation now. But if you are a man, there's nothing wrong with your seed. And the only reason why you haven't procreated is because of what you think your sexuality is. I, you're not doing what God called you to do. They label people as homophobic. I would never label myself. Me either. Kia, Kitana. Me either. I would, because I'm thinking, girl, are they for real? Shit, I don't fear the gay. Me either. You know, I don't hate none of these people. They be what they want to be. I don't give a damn. Do you think I'm in the middle of my mid? What about you? People even think about when I talk about racism, they even personalize that. They think I'm sitting around like I'm the black version of the KKK. The KKK, they hate, they like literally the system of white supremacy, not just the KKK. They strategize and they've committed all types of atrocities simply because of the color of somebody's skin, right? Like they sit around and think about this shit, like they literally hate you, like it's in their spirit, right? When I'm talking about the system of white supremacy, racism, and racist, I'm not in the middle of my bed and at my table strategizing against you to take you up out of here, even because of your stance. Like your stance is your stance and my stance is my stance. But am I worried about you? Am I losing my mind or my mortal soul trying to hate you? No, I don't think about it on that level. I think about it collectively and practically, not individually. It's the same way about this situation right here. I'm not thinking about you on some kind of this surface level bull crap. There's a deeper issue. Unfortunately, we're living in a time when a lot of folks are absolutely living in delusion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And want to be lied to. And want to be lied to. Yeah. It is sad to say. I agree with that. I sure do. Mm-hmm. These are absolutely scary times in the world. Absolutely. These are absolutely scary times. Yeah. Yeah. They want to eliminate anyone who is not full. Yeah. Yeah. See, that is this is like what is that guy's name? That most famous Satanist or what's his name? Aleister Crowley. The do whatever you want to do. What did he say? He believes the world is better off chaotic. Aleister Crowley. What did he say? Do as thou willst. Do as thou willst. If you are a Christ follower, and I'm not talking about religion, if you are a spiritual person, you know that do as thou willst mentality, that ain't nothing but Sodom and Gomorrah. That's all that is. That's all that is. Like what are you celebrating this time of month? You know? And a lot of it is like some kind of group psychosis, there might be some kind of group mental illness or something. Just cause the world tell you it's acceptable don't mean it is. So the world say it's okay to be the way that you are, and so the world, since the world said it, you're gonna go directly oppose what God said, and so just because the world said it's okay, it's okay. Is that what we doing around here? They want to persecute you because you don't believe and you don't want to, like uplift that type of lifestyle. But you don't hate them, but you don't endorse it. So, but because you don't endorse it, you gotta hate somebody for your opinion. That don't make no sense. And like I truly believe we've been living in the end times forever, and we know that when it comes to end times, if y'all listen to those two, I think I did 2 videos on the Book of Revelations. This is another reason why I feel that we have been in the end times for a long time. But these demons have gotten more active. They are up front. They have whole satanic rituals on stage at them Grammy Awards and stuff like that. Whole rituals up on stage. They don't even try to hide it no more. They want your kids to believe in Satan instead of God. They want to classify uh Luciferianism or Satanism, whatever you call it, as a religion, and they want to have that type of religious freedom in schools. I'm like, child. Ultimately, all this is being done to help white supremacy rule longer than it's supposed to. Facts over feelings about you're right about that. Yeah. Especially when it comes to those twerking around in the synagogue of Satan over there. See, they got a whole different issue going on with them. You know, those converts over there. Hmm. And I think that when it, that circuit talking about this, them in Hollywood, those twerking around in synagogues, like the ones that run Hollywood over there, I think that that's why they are the way that they are when it comes to black men, because they know that a lot of black people are the true Hebrew Israelites. They know that a lot of them are from descended from the lost tribe, and they are even further trying to contaminate things. I'm gonna put it that way if I can, because they forget he sits high and looks. Right, absolutely. That's right. You don't never change. You don't never change. They're trying to push the sick agenda. That too. They're trying to normalize it for children. See, they figured if they normalize it for children, when they come up, when they reach adulthood, these children, they would think that it is, acceptable, just a part of life. There's nothing, nothing, uh uh you know there's no spiritual ramification. It's just the norm. So that's why they want to push it on the children. They want to what's the word I'm trying to use? They want to not normal. No, it's even deeper than trying to normalize it. In my opinion, it's more insidious than that. But that's doing nothing. But in my opinion, when they are uh like promoting this stuff and pushing it and trying to normalize it, I think that further uplifts um that demonic energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're trying to program these kids into making them think it's normal, but it's not. Yes, he did. Dave Chappelle walked. Yeah, he walked away. But those black men in Hollywood, they are always under attack. Only a few of them that I ever heard of slip through under the cracks. I know Denzel Washington. He refused to kiss a white woman on screen. He refused to, of course, put on a dress. There's a whole bunch of stuff Denzel Washington refused to do. And that Nate Parker guy, we know what they did. They shot Nate Parker down before he got started real good. But then they be turning, they know what the people be doing to them, like that guy that wrote Get Out, right? You doing this movie, it's a cult classic, Get Out, but you married to an Anglo woman. Even Nate Parker, he got kept getting hemmed up with these Anglo women, but like you want to be, you don't want to be, you know, you know, I don't know. You don't want to be ran, or you don't want you don't want to be emasculated by whatever it is that they got going over there. But you still turn around and label and child. It's just crazy. Terry Crews plays that role. Yeah, he just, I just, that Terry Crews, Eddie Griffith has said it best. No black man leaves Hollywood clean. Ain't that something, Claude? And that's why some of them is be coming out and it seems like they talking crazy, like they done lost their mind. No, it's because they done been through something. They traumatized. It's because they traumatized. But they want to push it. Oh, he was on drugs. Or oh, he done lost his mind. Or oh, he done had a nervous breakdown. Or oh, blah. It's more insidious than that. And this whole agenda right here, what we're talking about today, is more insidious than that. You want to shut me up from talking about this subject simply because you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm speaking the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to accept it. You ain't got to. But the truth is the truth. You are not doing, you are not moving in the way that you are supposed to move. And you don't like me because I'm telling the truth. I'm saying it out loud. You're not moving the way that you're supposed to move, and you know you're not. Dropping it right now, Claude. Let me get this link, y'all. That's right. I did a video about the wheat and the tear. Let me get this link for Cloud, y'all. Did a video about the wheat and the tear. Sure did. The wheat and the weeds, honey. These weeds is done took over. They done took over the wheat, or so they think they have anyway. But they really haven't, because we know how the story ends, right? It don't matter what they try to hold on, man. What they try to put out there at the end of the day, we know who gonna win the war at the end of the day, right? There you go, Clown. But it's just the fact that so many people that they're taking with them is just incredible. They say if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. That's part of the problem that I had last week. Why are you not standing for anything at all? And then they want to break it down. Well, black people do this, that, and the other to other black people on the blah, 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 blah. What do they got to do with those racial epithets? That's the excuse. Because you made yourself look weak because you wouldn't take a stance. I dropped the link, Cloud. P. Diddy is a whole mess. Ooh, child, that thing is ugh. But guys like Leonard, I guess Leonard Cohen and Jimmy Levine, or child. And they not only want to suck the soul out of black men over there in Hollywood. You see they attack the children, those little child actors and stuff. You see all that demonic stuff they do to them babies. Shit is weird. It's like really, really weird. But the reason why it's so the way that Hollywood is right now, they got so much power because they done did so much Kabbalism over there, twerking around in them synagogues over there, and they spent so much stuff that and all of this, and then all of these theories. Everybody ain't telling you the same lie either. Everybody ain't lying when you hear somebody talk like Kent Williams or Dave Chappelle. These people not lying about all that demonic activity going on over there. They'll leave that 30 pieces of silver alone, save your soul. It's gonna last longer. I'm just saying. Cause I dropped the link. Are you still gonna hit it or no? Let me drop it again. But yeah, it's crazy. But that's my stance on it. Like, I really want to talk to y'all. I mean, that I kept thinking about that. And I'm like, okay, I can't even have this conversation over here about these epithets going on because they keep throwing up homophobic stuff. I'm like, what does one thing have to do with the other? Why is that even popping? Why? I don't understand why people associate racism with homophobia or being anti-gay. How is one of the two? They love to associate the two. Our plights are not the same, honey. Our plights are not the same. It's crazy when they do that to me, in my opinion. Now, hold on a minute. Let me put my banner up, y'all. Y'all can cut your camera off. I just gotta put unless you just want to show your face. It's up to you, but cut your camera off if you don't want to. So hold on a minute. Let me get my banner. There go my banner. Wow.
Can you hear me?
I can hear something in the background. You got a TV or something in the background on?
Turn it off. I literally just turned it off.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Frida?
Yes, this is she.
Now you can take your camera down if you want, or you can keep your picture up there.
It don't matter. It don't matter either way. They've seen me before, and I don't care. I'm in my pajamas, but I'm here to say something.
Okay, well, hold on a minute. Cause I clicked the link. Cloud wants to do the link first. Can you hold on?
Cloud.
No, ladies first.
No, he's fine. I was just gonna sit up here with you all for a while because this is sort of like my conversation. So, that's fine. I'm good. You go ahead, sir.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You know I'm a patient man, Auntie. You know that. But earlier, obviously, we were talking about the homophobic thing. That's how it started anyway. And then obviously we veered left because let's face it, one thing that we both have in common is we can get veered to the left or to the right pretty quickly when we're talking about different type of subjects.
Right.
The homosexual thing, the homophobic thing, excuse me. I've said it a million times. That word has been so misused. It's
right.
It's really crazy because, of course, phobic is short for fear. I mean, that's what it's the fear of something. I mean, because we don't agree with a certain lifestyle doesn't mean that you fear it.
Right. Hold on a minute, hold on a minute, Claude, if you don't mind. Is that you, Mr. William?
Yes, it is here.
Okay,
Good morning.
I just wanted to make sure that was you because I want to drop I'm going to take this what do you call it, this screen thing down. I respect
right.
I needed Simone.
Yeah, but go ahead, Cloud. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure it was him.
Oh, there we go. Good morning, Mr. Carruthers. How are you, sir?
Yes. Good morning, panel. Good morning, everybody in the chat.
But I just hate when that word is misused, or if you don't agree with something that they agree with, and I'm talking about as a collective. And I can't speak. Obviously, I can't speak for the gay community. I can't do it. Right. And one person, and that's also another thing that happens, and that happens within our community as well. One or two gay people don't speak for the entire gay community.
Right.
That's a problem also.
But we can't speak truth. I didn't mean to introduce you, Uncle, but interrupt you. But we can't speak truth. I'm trying to set my phone up so I won't be a disturbance. But we can speak truth is what we can do. And just because somebody have come along and told us that this, the Creator said men don't lie with men, woman don't lie with woman. So that's what I'm going by. So when we say we're speaking our truth. We're speaking the one who created us. Truth is what I believe. And for those of you who probably don't know me, I come in and out. I just visit people who, I try to really go to the young folks too, because they are under the misunderstanding that this stuff don't apply to us anymore, that there isn't a God looking high and sitting high and looking low, because he allowed these things to happen to us. He allowed us to lose our everything. We were kings and queens, but we were warned that the people who were coming, if you read your Bible in Deuteronomy 28, we were sent over here, and not all of us, I'm talking about the Hebrews, that was sent over here. We were sent over here for a lesson because we wanted to grow up to be just like the colonizers, just like the people who had fallen and created their people. Now, there's only 3 people that's supposed to be on this earth. That's Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Nothing has changed, okay? Nothing has changed. So where do all these other people come from?
But let me interject for a minute, because I understand what you're saying, but my when you said that part about the man ain't supposed to lay with the man and the woman ain't supposed to lay with the woman or whatever, that is Bible right there. But
yes,
when it comes to this conversation, I'm talking about a greater issue, and the greater issue for me is spirituality.
yes,
And that is the fight I am talking about, because the reason why the greater issue for me is principalities and demons, because they're spinning this thing. And
right.
on the surface level, we know what Bible says, but when you are corrupting it and contaminated, it goes from the topic of sexuality to demonology.
And see, that's part of it, Miss So. That is part of it. If they feel like the whole spirituality thing of it is taking our men away from us, because I just don't see. I know there's gay white men. I know they are. But they more undercover with it. But there seems to be a spirit on our black men.
That's what I mean. My issue is not even when it comes to patriarchy. When it comes to patriarchy, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of our black men, gay and straight, are not doing what they're supposed to do. But on the spiritual, again, I don't think nobody is straight. I don't think that on a surface level you can say that they are trying to. That goes to the agenda when it say about a lot of our black men in general. I don't care about no other race of people. If you gay or straight, it's what I'm trying to say. If you are not protecting your community, you can protect your community and still be gay. That is my issue. I don't care who they lay with.
Okay.
I want you to do what God has called you to do. You can do that gay. You can still. Black men are the only men, gay or straight, that don't protect their community collectively. I'm not talking about individually.
Okay, I get you. Let
me finish.
Okay.
They are not. I'm not talking about individually. I can understand why they want to call me homophobic, because I'm not talking individually.
Because I'm am
collectively. I don't care who you lay with if you are a black man, because this is a patriarchal-led society.
Right.
If you are not standing up for your people, then you are not protecting your people. I should not have to speak more vocally when it comes to white supremacy, racism,
right,
and how it affects us. I should not be more vocal than you.
Okay, Miss So. I see where you're coming from.
They did it to King. They did it to all our leaders.
Right.
Anybody want to stand up for the community and make a difference and want to veer black men in a different way, they want to emasculate you further. And when it comes to Hollywood, and I use that as an example, because that is one of the main ways to emasculate the black man and get him to think that you want to do this, that, and the other, and I want to make you look like this. I want to make you look this way, because it is sending a signal to other black men, to other black people in the community.
I see where. So I see the subject you're on, but see, I just came in here, so I really didn't know how deep the rabbit hole was going. So I understand what you were saying.
Right. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not attacking. I look at everything as a whole. One is deliberately done for the other, okay? Because people don't realize the time that we do live in. Like our 400 years has been up 16. Donald Trump made that a law, HR 1242 law. 1619, we were here, the first people that stepped on this, and not the first American Indian. I'm not talking about the first American Indian, but the first people who stepped on this land on boats came here in 1619. The law, in case anybody want to look it up, is HR 1242, Donald Trump law, saying that the first.
Yeah, we're veering away from the subject.
Okay, but I was just trying to explain myself. The reason why I come from a different. I understand you don't want to. You just want to say, even if you're black. I understand that if you're a black man. Let's stand up for our.
That's what I'm talking about today.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay on that subject.
Okay, we'll stay on that subject because
I don't like to mix things together. I don't like to be diverted. I know some panels that you go on, they're easily swayed from the conversation, but over here, I stick to the conversation.
Okay, we're gonna do that about the feminine of the black man. Is that what we're talking about, or just because
I'm taking it to another level? I don't think you came in at the beginning.
And I didn't. I just came in when you went about like 10 minutes ago.
I'm trying to tell you what it is.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the spiritual demonic agenda that's going on, even above the demasculation of black men. I'm taking it to a spiritual level, a hierarchical level, a patriarchal level. See, they have to, if you want to destroy a community, you do it through the men first. And as it pertains to black people, it's particularly insidious when when it comes to the black man. It's particularly insidious. It's more than about sexuality. It's more than about racism.
Okay, so what you're saying is they identify as gay more than they do black, right?
Some of them do, I believe.
Okay.
And not just because of the sexuality, it's because they don't want to do what God has called them to do. I don't care who you lay with. You can be gay and still stand up for community. We've seen it.
Right.
We've seen it. So that is what I'm talking. I don't care about who you laying down with at night. That is not my issue.
Really, I don't care about that either. But okay,
my issue is also when it comes to me, they are trying to make that, put in their mind for whatever reason that is the issue. They're putting it in mind that is the issue simply because they know I'm telling the truth. You're not doing what you are called to do. You can label who you want to label with, you still do what you want to do at the same damn time. That is my issue. I don't care about that other stuff. It's secondary. It's secondary to me. I don't have time for that surface level bull crap. But anyway, what did you want to say, Mr. Carruthers?
Okay, Miss Olivia, I listened to you from the very beginning, and I totally agree with you on your stance and everything that you say and do. It seems like as a person gets older, they think more and they wonder, well, why? Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with you asking questions of why. And I love that banner you have up there, Thinking Woman. And women always think more than men do. And when they start thinking, they raise a lot of questions on, well, why is this? Why is my man doing this? Why is things going wrong? And we have to look back at this world doesn't belong to man. It belongs to the devil. And when the devil can get in a man's head and even a woman's head, that's when the chaos starts right there.
I agree.
So I just came up here to say that I've taken stances on a lot of things here on YouTube, but then I got ostracized for being a man. You see what I'm saying? Right. They don't.
That's right. And if you don't, that's why you got it. That's why me. And another reason, I'm glad you said it, Mr. William, because that's part of the reason for even the video today. Because like I said, I've been hearing for several days that we were talking about racism, but they keep, that Olivia, she's homophobic. What does that have to do with racism? There are two different things. Homophobia and racism are two different things. But why are you trying to put that back on homo? I'm like, what?
Well,
the video. I'm talking about racism, and you keep throwing little stupid surface level shots about, am I homophobic or not?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why I feel this way, that way. They feel that way. It's because, number one, the subject was brought up on James' platform, which I admire James for doing that. Even though he's a gay man, homosexual. I mean, he's not a heterosexual man, but he brought up racism on his platform.
And it meant so much more to me because he is a black man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Mr. Williams? Is a black man said something about it. Right. He could have been in another sector. He could have been in the in the original black sector over there, and his stance was correct.
And then on top of that, he could have been a straight heterosexual man,
Yes,
and his
his
stance
stance
could
was
have been
his,
that. And we've
yeah,
got people out here, we are so divided as black, as when it comes to being black people, that we don't even know where we come from or what we, what our true meaning is, except
right,
those that are willing to go in and look and have
yeah,
an open mind about things.
yeah,
That I used to say, you think outside of the box. No, you think outside of the world. You think
yeah,
outside of the universe, because
yeah,
there's so many things that is possible when you know there's a higher authority that
yeah,
created this world, man, and everything else. You have to think
yeah.
outside of the universe,
Yeah,
and you don't.
and they attack y'all black men. Even more, they attack black women in a different way, but
Right,
they attack black men because you are the seed bearer.
right,
You know, you are the seed holder. We burn them, but you hold them. So they
and
have to attack you. They have to emasculate you. They have to separate you from your own kind. They want you to be in everything else, but still being a strong black family unit. You
right,
can be anything else in the world, you know, but they don't want you to form a strong black family unit. They don't want you to lead your community because that is what you are called to do.
yeah.
Okay?
And
They
see,
don't want
in
you to. They don't want you to procreate with your kind, with your melanated kind. They don't want you to do that.
right. And see, and even when a man makes a mistake, say it a black man, say, okay, we talk about black men leaving their families and leaving the women alone to raise their kids. You
Mhm.
have to look at what society has set up with welfare. Now,
But now, that's a whole nother video.
on another video,
You got
so
the
we'll
whole
do that.
thing. Yeah, you right about that. It's just so many levels. Problem with one of the problems that we have in the black community in particular, when it comes to our issues, there's so much going on.
Right. And
We have so much on us
we don't
at
want to
one
talk about those separately. They want to try to lump it all in, but there is
right.
individual levels that we have to
Yes,
go through in order
yes,
for us to come out of that mold that we
yes,
were born in. We have to break that
yes.
mold and make sure nobody else is born of that again.
Yeah. See,
See,
our people, we've never healed from chattel slavery, right? So you got
no,
that
we haven't.
encoded in your DNA, and this country has never dealt with that. That's why they call it the original sins. But you're throwing everything else on top of that, and so we're having to deal with so much at one time. And then they want to change your history. They don't know. They don't want you to have sense enough to know what it is that you're doing. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
because it's that they keep you off kilter. You can't focus. You got to call. You got to talk about. You don't even know where to start because there's so much coming in on you at one point in time. You know what I mean? That's why I try to zero in today. And nothing that the lady said was untrue. Nothing that you said, even when you went to talking about that whole system of welfare over there. That's another subject entirely. But we're
Right.
dealing with this stuff all at one time. Black men that are that are making their babies. They're not taking care of them. Some of them are. A lot of them aren't. But the ones that aren't are the ones that's talked about. They're not talking about the black fathers that do take care of their children,
Thank
that do
you. Thank
raise
you.
their time. They don't talk about that. They don't get the light of day. But some the dusties and the breeders that just make them and leave them alone. They always the ones that get highlighted. It's just like in Hollywood. If you are
Thank you.
emasculated, if you are putting on the dress, you can become a star as long as you are in that word of emasculation. We'll lift you up. We'll make you a star because we don't want you to put out there that black men don't have to be emasculated. We don't want you to know that you don't have to fall for all of these little stupid agendas
Stunts.
that they're
Yeah.
trying to put, yeah, and these stunts
Yeah,
that they're trying to put on you. It don't have to be that way.
but we all know what that is about. That's the powers that be that are pushing that agenda. When you have
Right.
those people, they're going to push a certain agenda. I mean,
Right.
a great example of that. I mean, the most they like to push. The more dysfunctional it is, the more they
Yes.
want to push it and normalize it, and especially when it comes to our community. Here's the
Yes.
greatest example of that is Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Excuse me. Yeah.
If this was a white couple, they wouldn't push it half as hard as they push that garbage that they have ruined. That's child abuse. What happened to this young?
What they did to that little young. Yes, it is. His mama was directly opposed to this, Paul. His mama was opposed to it, and they still did it to him anyway.
And remember, there was a video that you did about that a couple of years ago. Because Dwayne Wade is so speaking of an emasculated black man, he's so emasculated that he disrespected the mother of his child, tried to call her crazy, all types of garbage. And that was the same woman who was helping him when he was in college and in high school. And he disrespected her so bad.
Yeah.
Yes, never turned his coat on the woman. Sure did. That just put it out there for the world to normalize it, like it's supposed to be normal what he did to the mother of his children. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be normal. It's supposed to be normal of him doing what he is doing with that, what he's allowing. That child, that's a child, right? He don't know what he is, right? That little boy that started that, he wasn't even a teenager yet when they started with Gabrielle. You took him to a gay pride parade. Now, he don't know what he is. He is a child. If you in my house, you are what I tell you are. Okay, when you leave my home, it is up to you to do
exactly.
Exactly.
But when you're in my house, you are what I tell you are. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't have a choice. Okay.
Exactly.
But they want to push this on kids. In elementary school. Well, they want to be. They're playing dress up. They don't know what the hell they are. You are what I tell you are.
And if you do got that feeling
correctly, but all of a sudden they know who they are. Please.
And they babies.
And see what Miss O, what I was trying to say is this by the grand scheme. See, that's what the devil do is they think of stuff thousands of years before us before. So that's what I was trying to say. This is all about a grand scheme to keep us not being able to lift ourselves up and regain our throne. It goes real deep. So like you said,
also about us giving it away. See, I'm all about accountability as well. You don't have to play into that stuff. Like I said, the Bible say be in the world, not of the world. If it ain't right, it just ain't right. And you don't have to do it just cause the world tell you it's okay.
And that's why I started off like I did, saying that just because, people tell us different things, we know right from wrong. That's why I started off. It goes very, very deep, on how evil and how disgusting things is. It's to the point that I even believe they putting something in there. Because, like, I'm 61 years old, okay? When I was a kid, walking up and down our street, we had one gay people who did it out loud. No, and I can even name them, but I won't. Y'all wouldn't know them anyway. But we had a couple, Raynard and Dougie. That was the only one. And then about 10 years later, we started seeing a gay pair. So it wasn't nothing about like that. But now what they are throwing in our face, that evil is good and good is evil. That's where I was trying to start from. I wasn't trying to, go to it.
But I don't want them to think that I like in my community too. We went to school with people like it. You seen that, and that see, and that's another thing that's another agenda to divide people from amongst their people. You hear a lot of black gay people try to say that homophobia is really, really bad in the black community and all of this and all that. But if you look at these individual communities, like you was talking about a couple of gay people in your community, right? I had that in my community. There's a couple of guys, they gay. And so nobody was beating up on them or trying to kill them. Nobody wasn't hot. You just didn't say nothing about it at all.
Exactly.
I went to school together, and it wasn't highlighted or nothing in your face, nothing like that. But if you was what you was, but I didn't see them little boys when I was in school, like targeting, this little fellow because he gay. This was not talked about.
Right. We called him a sissy and we went on about our business. We even had some in our family, truth be told. We knew that something was.
Ain't nobody trying to burn you at the stake in the black community, but they want to make it seem like homophobia is so bad in the black community, and I disagree with that. That is just another
Right,
way to
because
divide
I'm gonna
people,
love
in my
you.
opinion.
Right. We supposed to love unconditionally, and that's what I do. I can hate the sin, but I'm gonna love you. If I see you in need, I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna give you. If you need money or whatever, I'm gonna give that to you. It ain't the you that I hate. And it's exactly. I want all of us to come together so we can rise again. That's the only reason why we fail, is because we decided on doing what the colonizer was doing, and he wasn't having it.
Well,
So he said, "Okay, we finna show y'all."
if you want to assimilate into that, where you can assimilate into it, right? So when I'm talking collectively, not individually, There are
Exactly.
a lot of people that go directly opposed to what it is that I'm saying, and I don't care. It's not changing nothing. It is what it is. You can try to explain it
Exactly.
away. You can try to call it hypocrisy to what I said, and I meant it, right? So I can do more than one thing. Like I said, I can do more than one thing at a time. I read
Yes.
your ass down, I roast you, and I gag you. But what I don't like to see is somebody that's not melanated like you spewing these racial epithets, and people thinking that it's cool. And
Right.
it's absolutely your right to think, if you don't mind them spewing that stuff to you. But I'm not going to be complicit in that. You call me whatever you want to call me, ain't changing the damn thing. My stance is still my stance. I'm not
Exactly.
worried about how you feeling it on an individual basis. That is not my problem. That is a personal problem. That is a you problem. That is not a me problem. And that's why I want to do this video this morning, because it is a individual problem. It don't have nothing to do with me and what I'm talking about collectively, not individually. Because in my opinion, you in your feelings when you try to take it and seem like I'm some kind of this or some kind of
Right.
that or other. You are you got that in your head because you know I'm
Right.
telling the
Because I
truth.
promise I love you. I promise I love you. And I'll do anything for you. But they have put us in so many categories: black Republican, black this, black that. No. When it all comes out, the first thing they see is your color. That's the first thing they're gonna
But
see is your color.
a lot of us swear that ain't the first. Well, now a lot of black folks feel like they live in a post-racist
Okay.
society.
Well.
They don't believe in agendas. They
How's
don't
that?
look. They stay in a bubble, if you will. Because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
stay in a
yeah.
bubble.
True. That's
You are
true.
lying to
You mean
yourself,
it's their wake up call? You mean?
right? Then they hear the wake up call over and over again. And they want to ignore it, Cloud. They want to dismiss the wake up call and still live in the land of illusion. Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't see how they
How's
could though. This late in the game, we got to do something, y'all. We got to do something.
Well, what
well?
we got to do is keep having conversations about things like Miss Olivia's bringing up this morning, and have sensible people that are willing to get up on a platform, not yell and scream and curse at each other, call each
Yes,
other
sir.
foul names, and do
Yes,
all
sir.
the derogatory things that the man says we do to ourselves all the
Yes,
time.
sir. And we do.
You
We
know what?
are
But
our
don't forget,
worst.
now, see, here's the thing about that. I'm not letting nobody define me and how I treat my people. And the first one, you can't come up here and tell me how to treat. I don't need you
Uh-uh.
giving me
Hmm.
a code of ethics when it comes to being my people. What you need to do is worry about you and your people. Because
Exactly.
see, black people always say, well, if you really love black people, you wouldn't say this, that, and the other to another black person. Why? Do you think, see, the difference between us and them is, take them Anglos, for instance. They will kill each other. They go at each other all the time. But when it comes time for them to come together under the banner of whatever
They
agenda
do
is
it.
gonna benefit them, they are together. They
They
are a
on
unit.
code. They
Wait,
stay
let me
on
finish.
code.
That is not, let me finish. That is
Okay.
not like that with black people. They can fight each other and do everything they want to and talk. They do everything that we do amongst themselves. But when it's time for them to come together, you best believe they're gonna link up like Voltron and come together. That is not true about us. When it comes to us, even having the conversation that we had last week, you got us fighting harder for them, then they don't have to fight for them at all, because we doing it against us. And we just talking about this subject right here, but they link up like Voltron together. We don't do that.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah,
We,
they will stay on code. You notice
Yes, they
they
will.
They know it's police brutality and stuff, but when one of us get killed, what they do, they act like, are you sure? Did you see what happened before the camera came on? You know, it's always some BS when it comes to it. You know that they can't see somebody beating you that long, or they cannot see somebody standing on you, or us just being harassed. You know.
No. The common thing that we all should have together as a black nation, because I'm gonna start nations, because now they say the United States of America.
Right.
We should have a black people of America. We have to, as individuals, look at ourselves and think, what can I do? What can I say? How can I show them that I'm tired of this bull crap? You know, and like it goes back to what Miss Olivia says, when Hollywood start letting black people in, when they first got in, they had them doing all kind of buffoonery things.
Yeah.
You know, even before the men were in dresses, they had us in acting as bums, waitresses, and chauffeurs, and all that. And then our language was bad.
Have you ever watched, or have you ever seen that movie, The Birth of America?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I went over it a couple of times, and that is one of the most, oh boy, what can you say about that? For those that never watched it.
How they vilified the black man.
Yes.
Black man still kill and rape and destroy the white woman.
Yes, the original, the black and white one.
Fast forward to today, a lot of them trip over themselves trying to find a non-black woman. But you got a movie, you got a whole system that vilified you, and you feeding into that nonsense. But that's your choice. So I'm not blaming everything on them, because some of us willingly feed into that. You know, it's just like when they say, okay, the part about the I'm roasting and gagging. I come over and roast and gag and drag and do whatever the fuck I want to do with my own people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean I'm not pro-black. It just means I'm roasting and gagging and I'm dragging. I don't need somebody else that's not melanated like me, or coming in, or even if you're a Candace Owens type, coming in trying to dictate to me how I move.
Right.
And then because you feel insecure and you know I'm telling the truth, you want to spin a whole nother narrative. But see, that don't work for me, because I am laser focused. My stance has always been what my stance is since I have been on YouTube. I have never veered from that path. Now I will come on here and roast and drag and talk you down to the ground. But my stance, when it comes to collectively, when it comes to the collective of black people, not individual, the collective, my stance is my damn stance, and that ain't never going to change.
And see, as Mr. Will said, and I always go back to the Bible, because I'm a historian of the Bible and I read the Bible a lot. But I'm just saying, like he said, they said, let us stop them from being a nation. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They don't want us to come together, because when we come together, it's over. So they put us in these little.
We have to take accountability for that too, because
yes,
you know, a lot of this what's going on. Because like the Lord said, if my people which are called by my name will bow down and follow me and repent.
And that's why I tried to start off at the beginning with that.
On us too, collectively, once again, collectively, is because we are His chosen people.
It's a plan. It was a plan.
Not individually, but collectively, and for centuries. Because we are so much like God, we think that we can sit at the right. You are not God.
We are ours. Look at our hair. Look at our hair.
And our souls, because of this melanin, some of us are so arrogant to think that you are just like Him. You are not just like Him. You have to humble yourself.
We connected. Yeah.
You're never going to get anywhere or any further.
Divided.
And it will come a time when it's getting worse and worse.
Yes, it is.
And then people want to throw out when I'm talking about worse and worse. I'm particularly talking about. They even try to say, "Well, she talk about Africa all the time." No, when I'm talking about white supremacy, racism. Okay, of course we know it's through every corner of the earth, but my ancestors' blood is in this soil. Okay, so I am laser
Exactly.
focused on the United States of America because our blood, my family's blood, is in this soil. I can't worry about what you're doing in some other country.
Exactly.
Okay, I
That
can
we was
speak
never
on it,
there.
but when I'm speaking on white supremacy, racism, I'm talking about in the United States of America. I'm not worried about what you're doing on your other continent. They even want to talk. Well, she can't speak of something. She always talking about. No, honey, I'm talking about over here. Over here, I'm focused over here.
And for them to tell us to go back where? I'm sorry. Go back where?
I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Like I said, my ancestors' blood is in this soil. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. You can't tell me to go nowhere. Okay?
This is y'all. What are they talking about? Okay.
I don't fall for that crap either. That don't even make sense to me.
Just because you came here and took over because you had bigger ammunition and you had guns and maybe we had arrows or nothing, don't mean we just let you come in and take. You came in and took over as it was supposed to be. We were under punishment. I take accountability. I know we had a lot to do with why we failed.
I agree.
Every time we go against the Most High, we get punished.
There you go.
That's right, Paul. That's right. See,
That's it. That's all. Thank you.
That's what I mean by the bigger issue. You see what I'm saying, Cloud? There's a bigger issue.
That's what I was trying to bring in the beginning.
There's a spiritual war going on, and so don't
Yes,
try
ma'am.
to demean my conversation when I'm talking collectively and spiritually. You want to break it down to she's homophobic or
Right.
she's no, honey, that's too shallow for me.
Right.
I'm beyond that. I'm not.
Deflection.
That's real petty to me. I'm not doing that.
And we clearly don't hate. We are the lovingest people. We accept everything and everybody.
Ain't
that the truth?
See, that's the thing about me. That's why I don't accept everything, and I do not accept everybody. I do not.
But I mean, as a collective,
to do that. They taught a lot of black people to do that. They try to beat it in us and all of this and all that. And too many of us accept anything and anybody. I do not.
But see, what I meant, Miss O, what I meant by that is, even if you walked out your door right now and you saw someone fall or hurt, our first instinct is to help. That's what I mean. We are loving people.
I'm not going to let you just sit there and bleed to death. I'm not doing that. That's not what I mean. What I mean
by that's what I'm saying. We are loving people. We will accept you.
I'm not going to put somebody else's agenda over the top of mine. That is what I mean by that. But in general, individually, I don't care what color you are. If you
right, that's what I'm saying.
If I can do something to help, I'm going to help you. That is a surface level to me. See, that's what I mean. I'm not that shallow. You know what I mean? I got sense enough to know that our fight is with principalities and demons, collectively. But individually, no, I would never do somebody. That's ridiculous.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We are loving people. We accept people. And I'm like you. I do love mine first. I love mine first. And I ain't ashamed to say it because I don't love everybody the same. I love you. I will help you. But that is how y'all got a chance to do us in.
I agree with what you're saying down there, Nikki, baby. I absolutely agree with that. That's what I mean by they want to push that demonic agenda. You know what I mean? It's spiritual for me. They want to make that thing seem like it's normal. They want to ingrain that into especially the young people's head. So when they grow up, they won't see anything wrong with it. And so they'll take that form of demon worship as it's normal. So I agree with that comment, what you said, Nikki, baby.
But here's the problem also.
And it's not even about nobody not being accepted for me either. When it comes to the LGBT community, for me, I can't speak for nobody else. But when it's not, I'm not gonna not accept you just cause you gay. That is surface level for me. I'm not shallow like that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Me, I don't have time to worry about that basic ass shit.
And if you didn't tell me you was gay, I wouldn't know it, and I would love you. And if you tell me you are, I'm gonna love you. It's
not affecting me. I'm not. You ain't gotta lay. I ain't gotta lay with you at night.
Exactly.
It's deeper than that for me. It's surface level. I don't have the surface level is frustrating me. I don't do the surface level. I'm not, no. And so that's what I meant by Cloud when I said they got me mistaken. Because you keeping it on a real basic level, and I'm not a real basic person. I'm more complex than that. You can't just say something like that and not tell me why. Now, I ain't heard none one of them men that call me that in this sector come up here and hit this link and tell me why they feel that I am homophobic. I'm asking the question, why? Just like I asked the question the other day on James' panel, why are they allowing that? I wanted to know, I genuinely wanted to know why. And that's my same question today. Why do you feel that way? It ain't
Yeah.
gonna change my stance, but I would really like to know why.
I'll tell you why, Miss O, because
You
they
can't
feel
tell me
like if
why, because you're not a gay man in this sector, so
no,
you can't
but
tell
I'm
me
just
why.
I can
That's
give my perspective, but I'm just saying people think that if you don't like the sin that you're just hating everyone, but that's not true. You cannot think something is right, but you can still love people, in general. So I see where the stance you're coming from. You're not individualizing,
Right.
anything. You're just saying as a collective, black people should not put ourselves and divide ourselves. Is that what you're saying? I don't want to.
What I'm saying is I don't understand not being black first. Black first, black first, black
That's what
first.
I. Yeah.
Sexuality is somewhere down along the somewhere further on down the line. I don't understand how you are not black first and you choose to be and you say in your mind that you are gay first because the world sees you as black first.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether you see you as black first or not, the world see you at black first. The world
That's
sees your black ass as black first.
when that
Not
policeman.
gay first, black
Right.
first.
Excuse me.
What you say, Claude?
I will go one step further with that. Not only should it be black first, there are certain circumstances where it has to be black only. We have let
You better.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
We have also let too many people see. We have to also realize that there are some of us that are not, and even though they might have brown skin, they are not for us. We
Not
have
That's
us.
true.
ourselves
That's
of them
true.
first before we can even think about attacking white supremacy. We have to get rid of these people before we can
Yes,
go anywhere.
absolutely.
That's
Well,
what I
y'all
was
heard
trying to
somebody
say.
said I would
Because
have
these
I
people
freed the
here,
slaves
and
side
you've
of
heard me
freedom.
say it before, they have a symbiotic relationship with these white
Yes,
folks.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
I
yep,
mean, even though they feel like they have a share in white supremacy, and those white
Very
supremacists
much
are
wrong.
all the way to the bank with those stupid ass people. Excuse my French.
you're right
Thank you.
about that, Cloud. That's my issue. That's all I be trying to. They do all these little. They have all these micro conversations,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to somebody like me. You are, speaking on a level that I'm not even. You are basic. I'm not talking about no basic level bullshit here. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you saying something, it's basic and simple, like, oh, she's homophobic, and you're a black man, in
That's a
this sector. No, honey, you taking it on a basic level. I don't care who you lay with. I don't hate you because you choosing to live this way. What I am not seeing is a patriarchal role that you are not taking, that you are supposed to take. You are not doing what you are supposed to do. That's the level I'm on. So when you taking it to such a surface level, I'm like, really? Why? Why you feel that way? Why? I want to
yeah.
know why. That is the purpose of the video. Why? Can you tell me why you feel that way?
And nobody wants to answer why either
Nobody
because,
want to answer why, Mr. William. No, same thing I was asking on James panel. Why? Nobody still to this day ain't answered me why.
and like I said, when you look at things from a historical standpoint with black people, it's always been about, well, if you show us, and I'm talking about the white man is telling them, if you show us that you don't care about your people, we're going to put you up here on this little throne of ours to make
Right,
you famous, make you rich,
right.
make you
Mhm.
and be influential over other black people to show
Yes,
them that, hey, our way is the good way. Ah,
yes. I
bull
want you to
crap.
step and fetch it
And
and
how does
bow
that
down
work?
to us. You go teach your people that they supposed the men are supposed to stay emasculated. Black man ain't supposed to take care of his kids or his home and absolutely not protect his
Hmm.
community. But you cow down
Hmm.
to us, you step under our foot, and everything will
Right.
be all right. We'll make you a star as long as you. But I don't want you to stand up and take and do what God called you to do for your people. I want you to bow down to me, and then you'll be okay.
Right.
Make that money.
I will
They'll
Make
say,
a,
let you make that money when you go along with them.
that's what it's all about, money. That's what it's all about. Even with our own, it's about money. We have relationships to where if that man ain't making enough money, he ain't no good. If that woman ain't making enough money, she ain't no good. You see what I'm saying? It's all about this. It's all
But
about.
see, that's surface level too, because if you really something when it comes to black people and heterosexual relationships, for me, it's about
Hmm.
reciprocity. You don't you we are supposed to work together. In
Say
my
Right.
that
house, we
again.
work
Say that again,
together.
Miss So.
We are not rich, but we work together. I don't have to put on the front or no stroll. We are hardworking people over here together and have been for over 20 years together, hardworking together.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
But that's from the outside
it's
too. We
about
didn't have that.
reciprocity when it comes to males and females, black people.
And it
What you say,
That
goes
that
so
Carl?
deep.
What
Well,
you
that
say,
that
we're
Carl?
gonna go
ours.
ahead, Mr.
That was
Card.
I'm
outside.
sorry.
When it comes to that, that was not ours. This being materialistic thing. This was not our original thoughts as a people either. That also
Right.
came from that.
Yep.
That was not our thing. Our thing was each one teach one, and also to build each other up as a people.
Hmm.
That was our
Hmm.
original focus.
Yep.
Our
Reciprocity.
original, our original focus. If you read that Bible from beginning to end, our original focus was we were supposed to make love with each other. As women, we were supposed to be man and wife, make love, procreate, and praise God. That was and to be the and
Okay.
to have
Praise
dominion
God.
over the
Be
earth.
fruitful and
That was our
multiply.
only
That's that
purpose
right.
in the beginning of this
Yep.
of this whole thing. But
Yep.
for whatever
And we was
reason,
more righteous. We was more righteous before this. We bartered. If I got a chicken and I needed something, I would give you that chicken and stuff. It was never about, you know, trying to get over and trying to be better and try to live the other one and different stuff. This is a whole nother evil. That,
Yeah,
Well, it's
you
that
know,
still the surface
the
level.
there.
devil
Yeah,
this
there's a lot
It's
of
surface
opinions
level.
and things that people say that we say here on this application to one another, even writing in text about why we as men and women feel the way we feel.
Mhm.
But do we realize the things that we have done to in order to make other people feel that way, or is it
Right.
because the bad situations that we've had with say the opposite sex that make us feel that way, you
Well,
know?
see, all of that is surface level because they don't realize that behind the reason there is a reason why black men and black women have such a hard time uh dealing with a relationship that's not toxic. Some of that is because of trauma, the separating the black man from the black woman via child
Yeah.
slavery. Some of that is
purposely.
called a part of post traumatic slave syndrome.
Yes.
But if you are aware that that is going on, you should do whatever you have to do to fight against it because it's very, very hard to have a non toxic relationship when it comes to black men and black women. But there, like I said, we got to deal with more than one thing at a time. And so for that reason, if you don't realize what's going on, you won't try to fight it. If that makes sense, you'll just go with the flow. You just figure it's commonplace. It's normal for us to be so diametrically opposed to one another. Even when it comes to gay men, they feel like
Hmm.
they, in
Hmm.
my opinion, they are in competition not with other gay men. They're in competition with black women, and I'm
Thank you.
thinking, "Oh, okay, there is no
Yeah,
competition." But it's
that
that
is
mental
true.
thing. You got to think about what's behind that. Why are they thinking that? And that definitely goes back to the trauma of chattel slavery as well.
And
You're
see,
not
Miss
you
So,
you you
that's
you
why.
feel like you feel like I was more protected than you. So you feel like if you can assimilate yourself to me, black man, it will give you the same level of protection that you feel like I have. But I am no more protected than you are. But that is how the way you see it, and the way that you see the reason why you see it that way is because it's a trick from white male patriarchy. They don't we are black women are not no more protected than black men, but they want you to see that.
not really,
That's what you
but think
think.
about what
But
they
that
did,
is
Miss
not, let
So.
me finish. That is not
Okay.
actually what's going on here. That is not what's going on. They are tricking you just like they trick poor those lower class white people into thinking Now that is classism. I'm not even going to, but they trick them to thinking either the lowest of the low of them is better than the highest of the high when it comes to melanated people. They are just simply being used as tools. They are manipulated as well. They trick them that they use them as weapons, but they don't care nothing about them either. And so that's another reason why they start coming up against. They had to get rid of King because King had started launching the poor people's campaign. He was moving out of just he went beyond the civil rights movement, and when he started the poor people's campaign, when you start telling the white folks what these elites was doing to them and how they was playing them to the left, then he had to die after that. He had to die after that because you're directly attacking them on another level. See, that's what I mean by I don't deal with surface level bull crap. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah, when you throw them a curveball, that's when they start attacking you.
Yeah, then they lose their mind.
Yeah,
They lose their mind then.
yeah, yeah.
Because that means you are attacking them directly. And that's why, Mr. William, I gave the example about how they do those black men in Hollywood. Because when they finally do want to stand up, they don't want to be under the thumb no more. They immediately put them down like dogs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or destroy their career. They want to silence them. If they don't kill them, or make them seem like that they want to silence them, destroy their character, But that is because of an agenda. There's a reason why they do that. And so it's the reason why they have to quote unquote keep them in their place. And that's why you see stuff like what happened to Michael Jackson or Prince or even Jamie Foxx right now, because that's what's on the front. Bill Cosby, or shoot, even nasty ass R. Kelly. You know what I mean? There's a reason for this.
There's a reason for everything under the sun. But until we know the truth about it, until we're able to find out the truth, then there's always going to be conspiracies, right?
Yeah. But Mr. Women, you're right. But then, like I said, I don't try to blame it all on the man. You still have to take personal accountability for feeding into it, because you don't have to feed into it at the end of the day if you don't want to. God gives us free will. He gives us free will. You need to start learning how to exercise your free will.
Yeah, and that's what make people go against people, because they're using their free will.
Right. And think about it. We were never supposed to be over our black man in the first place, but think about what the devil did. He gave us housing, he gave us food, and told us one thing: the black man can't be there. If you want housing, if you want aid and different stuff, that was by design to belittle our black man, to keep him feeling low and feel like he can't take care of his family unless he go to a different way that jail them.
Well, and that was an agenda, and then, but still, at the end of the day, unfortunately, a lot of our women fed into it. And where is the accountability when it comes to that? Where is the accountability for the black man allowing himself to fall for that false propaganda and that false narrative? They can put anything in front of you if they want to. It don't mean you got to fall for it.
No, you don't.
It's always easier to blame somebody else. Nobody wants to take account.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's about personal accountability.
I messed this up, and what can I do to fix it? It's so much.
What can I do to fix it? Yeah, and I've came on here and admitted my accountability as far as women go, how I treated them, and what I've done. But when I do that, I'm less of a man for speaking up about that, because hey, I'm trying to show younger men, hey, you don't do a woman like that. You don't treat her like that. Right. But then you got men on here that say, well, I'm weak, or I'm clout chasing and all. I'm not clout chasing a damn thing. Excuse me, Miss Olivia. I'm not clout chasing nothing.
Well, you know what, Mr. William, you're right, because it took me a minute to realize what was going on. But when you find men that treat women respectfully and treat women that they are the way that they are supposed to be treated, they call them simps and
wimps.
Yes.
If you're taking care of the home like you're supposed to, you are a simp.
Yeah.
You stand by your woman, you're a weak man all of a sudden.
Right. That's my whole part.
Protecting your family, you weak. That is an agenda too. But but that is not you taking accountability for your part. The fact that you are feeding into that crap. That is what you have to hold yourself accountable for, because men know that they are supposed to be protectors and providers. It's got to be your DNA. Just like
Miss
we know
Olivia.
it's in the women, in the woman's DNA to be nurturers. It's in
But
our DNA. We made like that.
that's how you
Yeah,
know it's the
Miss.
devil's system, because that's
Mhm.
what's being pushed. That's the
Right.
agenda.
Yeah, that's the
And
agenda, and
The
it's just like
agenda.
here,
Yeah.
just
yeah,
like here, just like here
it's
right now. I got a question in here, Miss Olivia. It's
You
to
know,
ask me, Mr. Williams, weren't you the one who was juggling three women? I'm confused. You see what I'm saying?
Oh my
Those
goodness.
kind, those kind of things right there. And I sit up and tell you, hey, I got a woman that I love or truly love over there and I'll say it again because everybody's been talking about it, South America, which happens to be a black woman. Why are you saying of what I did over here on YouTube because of some other person's agenda to make it seem that I'm a pimp, a simp, or a wimp? You see what I'm saying? And then when I get up here to protect women and talk to you women as, hey, you don't have to be called bitches and hoes and all this. Why is it that you want to go by what some other man or woman has said about me on these YouTube streets? That's all.
oh,
The question is, don't be confused, dear. Just realize that I do love all women. Okay, I care about women. And if you think I'm juggling three women because I tell them I love them, no, that's wrong.
And if you can, so
well,
I'm not trying to do that. See, that's the
well,
pimpology shit that people have
we
put in
getting
folks' head.
see,
what see,
here's the thing about panels. We start straying away. You know what I mean?
Y-
And I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying, Mr. William. Yeah, but that's straying away. That's surface level. You know what I mean?
you
And
know,
but
yeah,
I heard him
you know
everything.
what?
about his story. I haven't had time you know, I heard him talking, you know, about that or whatever. But you know what I mean? I have a time. You want to see me do the video about? I can't
But
follow everybody.
Miss O,
I don't know everybody's story on here quiet as it's kept. I don't. It's too
uh,
much.
Miss O, can I
yeah.
say something to uh Mr. Will here? Because if we think about it like in the way of the colonizers back in the day, and I always go back to the Bible because I'm so stuck to the Bible. Back in the day, if you think about Abraham, he has Sarah, Hagar, and I mean, so I'm just saying, I don't see that. I'm not saying my husband would ever have three wives because he wouldn't. Okay, just point blank, I ain't having it. But I'm just saying, if we go back before the colonizers came and stuff, we were a different people. So now we have to put ourselves up to what they believe is right. And nothing is right about them.
Well, now, see, I have to disagree because in the time of Abraham, even when it came to his wife and Hagar, you see how badly that turned out.
Oh yeah.
Because
Right.
they didn't have the patience to be faithful to God. The Lord told them, "I'm gonna give you
My
a
point
child,"
was, it
and
wasn't
then
wrong though.
they couldn't have time to wait. Yeah, now many cultures even today have more than one wife, but that ain't how I'm
Mm-hmm.
moving. I'm not,
Yes.
I'm not, and I'm not no weak woman to
Right.
just sit back and if I'm married to you, I'm married to you. I'm not married to you and them. I'm
Right.
married to one person at a time. You know, I don't babysit stuff like
Right.
that. That's
That.
not my word. I don't know what they did between Sarah and Hagar, because like I said, we seen how badly that worked out. I don't. But that's beyond my.
Well, that's how we got our
Going
12
back to
tribes.
that's going back to surface level, and I'm not going there today. That's not the purpose of my
You think
video.
about it, the 12
Not
tribes
the
we are
purpose.
important
That's not
today.
the purpose of my video. Let me read this.
Solomon was
Kiva
also led
Hana
astray
says,
by his wives, also, but that's another story.
what is there to do? What is there to be proud of? When you got to go against God's will and purpose for the male and female, right?
My
Surely
point.
God will see to it that you receive the consequences for the disobedience. I'm glad you put that down there, and I agree with this because, like I said, they like to slang that homophobic word around because they don't agree and they feel a way about what it says pertaining to their sexuality into the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So they want to personalize it because they know it ain't right.
Right.
You know, and like I said, not the fact that you are gay, it's the act. The act is what's not right. And they want to meld the two together. But you don't have to be your preference. You put your preference over who you are. That's my issue. It's not surface level. I don't care who you lay with. It's the fact that you putting your sexuality over who you are and what God has called you to be. That is my issue. So I'm glad you wrote that statement because I agree with that. And I know what you mean by that. Uh-huh.
Mm. Well, like I said,
That's
people
what I was trying to say, Keegan.
we're individuals, and until we learn that quit follow leader mentality and think
Right.
for ourselves once in a while outside the
Absolutely.
world, not
Yes,
just a
outside the
box,
world. Mm-hmm.
outside the world.
Divided.
We're not gonna have an understanding about the higher authority. We're not gonna have an understanding about how the devil is coming in now,
Mm-hmm.
present day, and disrupting this world and
Yep.
causing chaos and
Yes,
turmoil.
sir.
Well, he's
Yeah,
here, all
yeah,
right.
and for the fact that you keep feeding into it, Mr. Williams, I absolutely agree. Because we all have a choice. You have to take accountability for your. God gave us free will, so that means you are accountable for your own actions.
Yes, right,
You are accountable if you choose to listen to the world instead of listen to Him. You are accountable for that. And at the end of the day, the only person you have to blame is yourself. At the end of the day, you
right.
have a right to not feed into the nonsense because it's comfortable for you, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because a lot of times doing the right thing is very uncomfortable, especially in this world today, because we know in this world wrong is right and right is wrong, right?
That's what I
And so
said.
if
Yes,
you know, if you want to follow the right thing, it's hard. They're gonna come down on you because you know, because you're not gonna agree or play follow the leader or go along to get along. If it ain't right, it just ain't right.
right.
And so they want to villainize you because they know that you're telling the truth. But my stance is my stance, and it ain't gonna change. I don't give a damn what the world say.
And
I
And
then
don't.
my
you
thing is, if you don't know your history, you are bound to repeat it. If you don't know why we acting the way we're acting, a lot of people don't realize why we're acting. We have been put through hell. We have been told that the lighter people are the brighter people. They are the ones who get the better jobs and different stuff. I mean, we have a history of a history, and
But what
nobody
I'm
wants to
saying
go
is,
back and talk about it.
even if you don't know the specifics, if you are a melanated person, you can feel in your gut the way that you are supposed to move. Okay, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care because we have a net connection not only to God and the universe, but also to the earth. So even if you don't, I don't even know how to explain it.
I know what you're trying to say, Miss O. I know what you're
Miss
trying to
Olivia.
say.
Actions at the end of the day. You know right from
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
You
We
know
all
right
do.
from wrong. You're not born with a demon seed. You still know right from wrong. Just because you just don't want to do it because you just don't want to. That's the accountability part for me. That's
Right.
why I said I'm not trying to talk about no surface level stuff. I'm talking about the accountability because it's spiritual, right? When you are going against something and you know it's wrong and you choose to do anyway, that is on a different level than surface for me. For
Right.
me, it is. And my question was, and I'm going to close, y'all, because I've been on it for 2 hours. I
Yeah, I
ain't
have
never
to
going to
get
stay
out
on
of
the
here.
phone. But my question is always and forevermore be why? Why?
That
That's my
why?
question. Why?
That's the big
That
question.
don't even
That is
like.
a
That
big
don't even
question.
like when I come on and ask the question as to why, because you don't want to honestly give me an answer. That's why they don't want to. But they'll sideswipe it, try to sabotage or gaslight my stance. It still ain't changing, stopping me from asking the question why.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get. If you're about to leave, I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna make sure I donate you. I don't know if I can know your cash up, but I'll definitely hit that.
My
Um.
cash app is $ OracleSpeaks, and thank you.
Okay, I sure will do that for you, and thank you. I really enjoyed this. I wish I had came in earlier. Um.
Okay. But yeah,
But
be
you let
praying
me
my
know when
replays
we're gonna
on.
go deep, Miss O. You let me know because I want to be in that number.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
All right.
But like I said, y'all, fellas, I'm going. I've been on here for 2 hours, and I'm gonna get off of there. But
Yes.
I really wanted to broach this subject on a different level, not a non-surface level. And thanks, you guys for understanding where I was coming from, because sometimes panels can go left real easy. You know what I
Very
mean?
easy.
I'm
Right.
hoping I pretty much stayed, on task because I want to go beyond the surface level, because I've been hearing it for a couple of days, and I think that they're coming that way because they are internalizing it because they know that it's not, they understand what I'm saying, but they don't want to accept it. And
Hmm.
so I think that is the real issue. And that's why I wanted to go today. hmm
Well, thank
But I
you, Miss
appreciate you
Olivia.
guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for hitting the link. You know what I mean? Thank you.
You're
Because
welcome,
this
Miss
is not
Olivia.
an easy subject. It's just not.
It's not easy. And see, that's what makes things in the world so difficult. When something is not easy, they want to take the easy way out.
Right, I agree. Just go along to get along.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
So
Miss
yeah, you're
Olivia.
right. That's what I agree with. But yeah, thank you, Mr. William, for coming up.
All right, dear.
And Cloud, oh, Mr.
It's
William, is there anything you want to say for you got down?
Oh no, no, I'm just I'm just gonna like take notes and I got I got a platform. I might have to change my platform from my music right now to go into what's on my mind, socially and mentally with me and everything else. So I'll do that on my platform, Miss Olivia. As an older gentleman that's done reached well past maturity, and God has kept me here for 73 years of my life to show me certain things and to relay a message before I leave. Maybe that's what I need to
Absolutely,
do.
yes, absolutely. And then I think that a lot of people unfortunately don't realize that. That's why I said I am never a teacher. I'll forever be a student. I can't live long enough to know everything
Yeah,
that I'm supposed to know. Only thing I can do is try to muddle my way through it. And that's why I will always be a student and never a teacher,
yeah.
because
The
I
only
learned from
thing,
you.
the only thing I can say about myself, I've always been a man. I've never had a desire to lay with another man. I've always been a man that took care of business. And when I took care of business, yeah, sometimes it got me in trouble, but I was protecting the ones that I love as a man.
Well, you live, you learn, and you grow. You live, you learn, and you grow. That's why I said I'm always a student. I'm never a teacher. You live, you learn, and you grow.
Hmm.
Hopefully, but you know what, Mr. William? For some people, see, it's a lie when they say with age come wisdom, because that is not that way for all people. And it took me a minute to realize that some people just grow older. They don't grow older in wives. They just simply grow older and they stay stagnant. They say the same. They just stop wanting to learn. And if you're not wanting to learn anymore, you become stagnant and you're not getting wiser if you are unwilling to learn. So yeah, I know what you mean by that. Mhm. We learn from our mistakes and hopefully we grow from them. Everybody don't learn from their mistakes and grow from them, but some people do, you know, and it's just, I guess it's the way it is, Mr. William. I don't know, but
Well,
before the fact that you take accountability and you grow from it, that says a lot.
yeah, and
Everybody ain't
like,
like it though, and it's very confusing. It's very frustrating for people like you and even people like me. Because you're supposed to learn. Life is full of experiences, and hopefully you will learn from them.
yeah, and it kind of takes me back when people tell me that they don't like me or they hate me. For what reason? What have I done to you other than to be up here on these platforms socially and trying to
But
talk
now,
with people?
when it come to internet, I don't know anybody on here personally. I don't
Me
like
either.
them. I don't hate them.
Right,
I
that's
just
my point. I
know
don't
you.
hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. And I always tell people I love you because we never know that last time or that last moment. And
I,
for people to go around saying that I don't like you, well, no, I may not like. It's not that I don't like the individual. I may not like their agendas, like you were trying to say, Miss Olivia.
Right. Well, I'm
You
not
know.
liking what it is that you're presenting. I don't like the character or what it is that you're putting forth or your
Hmm.
propaganda that you're putting forth. I may agree with it, I may not. But personally, on
Right.
a deeper level, I don't know you individually, so I can't say that I like you. I can't say that I hate you. I can just say I nothing you because I don't know you. But for
Yep.
what you put out there, I can only speak on what it is that you come out of your mouth. But as far as you person, I don't know nobody on here. I don't know none of these people.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know none of
if
y'all
I
for real.
if I can tell people that I love them from a godly standpoint, that's all that matters to
And
me.
that is when I'm saying I love you. That's what I mean.
That's it. From a godly standpoint.
I'm saying I love you collectively because that is what is required of me from my God. Individually, it's not. I'm not saying individually. I'm saying collective, as a uh, from a spiritual standpoint, as you will.
Right.
And that is
Because
what I
from a
mean by
spiritual
love.
standpoint, you're not going to accept everything that the devil throws out there
Right,
at
and you're
you.
not supposed to.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to do what it is that God instructs you to do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't have to agree. I'm not loving what it is that I am opposed to. What you are saying, that is not what I mean by I love you. I
Right.
mean that I love you in a spiritual sense because that is what my God commands me to do. But on
Right.
an individual surface level, no, I ain't got to agree with whatever
No.
it is you're saying. No,
The
not
only person that we should, as individuals, say that we love them and mean it on a personal level is our spouses. Now that's all.
I
That's
mean, the
all I
people in
got
my
to say.
life, the people that I know that are in my world. Actually, I'm not talking. That's what I mean by in my world. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
different than I don't know nobody on the internet for real.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So I can't. Yeah, I don't have the issue. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not invested is not even the right word for what goes on the internet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, it's always more. It's deeper than surface level for me. And I
Hmm.
think that's why some people have me confused. You know what I mean? Because I'm not internalizing. Like I'm not trying to ride out to your house and come to meet you for real. Like why? I don't know you. That's surface
That
level to me. That's not logical to me. Like, oh no, why? Nope, not for
well,
me.
then you know what? Then the person thing they'll say, "Well, why are you always up here?" Then, well, I'm up here because I chose to be. I'm up here because I want to hear conversation that's relevant to what I'm thinking about. And if it's not relevant, I'll leave. That's all it is
Mhm.
to it.
That's how I feel. A lot of people don't like my commentary, but honey, my commentary is my commentary. It ain't about to
There you
stand for
go.
what
And
I think.
I respect your commentary, and I respect your right to say it. You
Yeah,
know,
you agree, whether you agree or not. I,
disagree or don't
I
disagree.
just yeah, it just is what it is. It's just still my commentary.
And like you said, black men have been used in the Hollywood form, fashion shape in order to get, to stay up there. But that was their choice. They
Yeah,
could,
I hope
they,
I tied that in together. I try to tie that in, as far as I hope I want to use it as an example. You know what I mean?
right.
And because I think even some people don't realize that this is all a play. It's all an agenda. It's for a purpose. Everything
Hmm.
that you see, especially twerking over there when those that twerk around in the synagogue of Satan,
Yeah.
all of that, honey, that is a beautiful mask. Okay,
Yeah. Well, all we have to do is look at Brazil this year, what they did with their carnival. So,
what do they
people,
do?
yeah, go and look. Yeah, hey, they had the devil out there full front and center.
Oh
And
Oh,
wow.
yeah, yeah, full front and
they
center.
do that every time you turn on the TV these days. They doing it, so yeah, it ain't just Brazil.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Olivia, I'll get down. Claude, I'll let you stay up there and have the last word with it. Enjoyed you guys. Claude, we got to get together on one of your platforms as men
I swear I
and
was
and
just about to
and yeah, bring up the conversation because men on the platform here, even in the beefing sector, we don't talk enough as men to men. So
let
I'll
me
be glad to get with you anytime. Anytime.
give me a date and time. We'll do it. I tell you what, I'll go one step further. If you're available even later on this evening, I'm more than
Oh yeah, sure. A 73-year-old retired man that's a pimp. I got all the time in the world.
Mr. Carruthers. It's a pleasure to be on the same panel.
The minds too, sir, with you and Miss Olivia also.
All right, thank you, Mr. William. You have a nice day. Okay.
Okay, Claude, I'll be looking for you.
All right, you got it, Mr.
All right, all
Carruthers.
right.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Take care.
All right, Claude. You have any last closing arguments or statements on this subject today, sir?
First, I want to thank you for even dropping the link and inviting me up to this particular live stream.
No, you are very
Boy,
welcome.
um, because I want to make sure that I articulate myself perfectly clear here.
Hmm.
There's going to come a time, whether we realize it or not, that we are going to be held accountable not only to ourselves but by someone and by that supreme being.
Hmm.
And we're going to have to take account how the mistakes we made in our lives, the things that we've done right,
Hmm.
and before this whole thing is over, we are going to have to answer for that, and then
Hmm.
we will be judged accordingly.
Hmm. Hmm.
And there is no disputing that judge because
Hmm.
he's the one who created us. And I just pray that I'm doing the very best I can towards me and mine, because it starts at home first before anything. Before I can say I love anybody. If I don't love myself, I can't say I love anybody.
I agree.
I will not be, and I certainly will not be a hypocrite to myself or anybody around. Because you could, I've told my wife several times, I'd rather that you hate me for telling the truth than love me for a lie.
I know that's right. What? I know that's right. I'm gonna have to close on that. Now, how's the queen doing?
And she's doing fine. In fact, we're getting ready to step out now as we speak.
That's all right. Will you tell her I said hi?
I certainly will. I don't know if you
Hey,
heard
how
her.
you doing, love? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I know that's right. I know this. Well, Cloud, you need to get off here because the queen is ready to go. She said she ready to go spend some coin, honey.
No, yeah, well, don't worry, we all right. And as always, I can never thank you enough. I mean, you've been just nothing but a godsend to us. I'll forever be indebted to you.
Well, honey, you know I'm always putting sending positive energy, and I you know that y'all all right with me. But you go on and get off here and let that woman go spend her money, child.
You got it. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.
And thank you, Cloud.
Take care.
Thank you, Cloud. What she say, Cloud? Oh, I didn't hear what she said. I think she said bye. Well, bye, love bug. You welcome, Mr. Carruthers. Thank you, Frida. Thank you. Thank you for showing the video. Y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I didn't even mean for this video to take this long, but folks hit the link and child, the time be getting just anyway. But I appreciate everybody that came up and hit the link and shared your opinion. I appreciate you guys for listening down in the chat. If you came in late, please go back and be part of the replay gang. I'm going to get off of here. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button, if you will. Child, hit a button. Oh, and thank you, love, for the super chat. It's very few and far between when I get them super chats and some cash out. Sometimes it's very rare, but I appreciate it so much. And anytime you guys see fit to do that, it's greatly appreciated. Hope you guys got something out of what I said today. I hope that I was clear. When it came to apology, the queen just said, "Oh, okay, Cloud. Thank you. Y'all have a good day, okay?" But I just wanted to shed some light on the subject. When it came to me and that word, like I said, I think people have me mistaken, and but my stance is my stance, and it is what it is, right? But I'm talking collectively, individually. I don't know nobody individually on this app, so sure. But anyway, let me get out here. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. And I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Peace.